Yes, sir. Welcome, everyone, to the Dream Wager episode 236, Saturday morning, January 14th, 2023. As always, I'm your host, Dylan, and I am joined each and every episode by my co-host, my partner in crime, our NBA guru, Elvis Acosta. How the hell you doing today, kid?
Dill, glad to be with you on this Saturday morning playoffs. You know,
Playoffs?
just excited to talk playoff football, people. Let's go.
Let's go. Super wild card weekend. I love how they always put the super in
Super.
front of it now the past few years. But yeah, it should be a good one. We're going to break down every game. We got 2 games today, 3 games tomorrow, and we got 1 standalone game on Monday Night Football. As always, we'll end the show with some NBA plays and some college plays on the hardwood. But Elvis, how was your week betting? Have you been betting a little NBA this week?
Yeah, Dill, positive week. Last 7 days, up 8 units,
Mm.
23 and 12, mostly all in the NBA. So your boy been, doing this thing in the NBA. Last night, 2-1. So if you've been following me, you're up 8 units for the week. That's what's up.
I love it. Yeah, yeah. For me, college basketball strictly. Yesterday went 3-1, had a nice day. Last week down about 4.5 units, but it's all right. We're
It's all
18
right.
and 21. I've been focusing on football a little too much. I've been getting into props a little more, NBA, NHL a little bit. So we're diving in. But Elvis, I think we should just get right into it. It's going to be a great weekend of action in the NFL. And we'll start with this first game, 4:30 over in San Francisco. 49ers are going to host the Seattle Seahawks. 49ers laying 9.5 at home, over under 42.5. Should be a good one. Any concerns about Brock Purdy being first playoff game?
Not really, Dill, because I'm not gonna say he been there and done that, but he faced adversity already this season. Him going against Tom Brady, I think was more on a solo stage, was more, I say, probably gave him more nerves than this game against Seattle. My personal opinion, I'll be more terrified to play Tom Brady in my first career start ever than Geno Smith and the Seahawks in my first career playoff start. So I wouldn't say he's gonna be, you know, panicking up there. He's gonna see what deer and headlights, but I expect him to play well. I expect to see what we saw in recent years with Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy G. Remember Dale 2 years ago when I was like, oh, Jimmy G's not gonna get more than 15 pass attempts, and then he only had like 9 for the game. He had back-to-back games with under 12 pass attempts, and they won those games outright.
Yeah.
So I expect Kyle Shanahan to limit Brock Purdy and any way he could turn the ball over. I think they're just going to hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey, give the ball quick screens to their playmakers, and just have a safe, clean game. And don't make them do too much. Don't make them force anything, especially downfield. Make everything nice and short, and let your playmakers make the plays.
Yeah, Elvis, I said this earlier in the week. I'm all over the 49ers in this one. I don't care, public play or not. San Francisco's too good. The Seahawks, they've
Good.
fallen into a deep hole against top defenses, including both of these games against the 49ers earlier in the season. Listen, I get it. It's Brock Purdy's first playoff game, but he's held up, and he has help up and down the roster. Weapons everywhere, excellent offensive line, great coach, and the best defense. So the Seahawks O-line is banged up. Geno has been tailing off the few weeks, still playing good, but not as good as we've seen earlier in the year. I don't think their defense can hold the 49ers in this game. Favorites over 9 points are 9-0 ATS in the wild card round. So, and 2 seeds for the most part in history, for my history at least, they've kind of rolled over the 7 seeds. So this one, I don't think we should overthink a little, Elvis. I'm going to lay the points with the 49ers. I do have 2 player props. Do you?
I have two as well. Do you want to go first, or I go
No,
first?
you go first.
All right, let's start with the running back because we possibly both have the running back as well. So let's start with Christian
Hey.
McCaffrey. Give me over 74.5 rushing yards for Christian McCaffrey, Deal. Like I said, I don't expect Kyle Shanahan in this offense with Brock Purdy to sit back and drop back and throw the ball 30 times. I think Christian McCaffrey going to get anywhere from 20 to 30 touches. I think he averages anywhere from 4 to 6 a carry, and that's going to push him well over, Dill. It wouldn't shock me. He goes over 100 yards, even scores a touchdown or two, Dill. Give me Christian McCaffrey over his receiving prop at 74.5.
receiving, not rushing.
Oh, man, rushing. I
Yeah,
rushing.
that I'm on the same thing. I like his. Oh, I could see him having another big game, and I think it might be one of the best trade deadline acquisitions in NFL history. Getting a guy like him, so
Recent history for sure.
100%. So I think they're going to lean on him, especially Brock Purdy struggles, and you see him tight up, overthrow, underthrow his receivers. I think they can lean on Christian McCaffrey. So I do like the over rushing. I got it at 72.5. Shop around. It's around that mid 70 range. But
anything under 80, take it. I'm telling you right now.
I agree. But another player prop I like, I like this. This is probably my favorite play of the game. I'm gonna go George Kittle over 3.5 receptions. Purdy's been feeding the ball to Kittle. He's gone over this number in 5 straight games with Purdy. Had 4 catches last time against Seattle, and Seattle can't guard the tight end. This is just a low number for a guy that gets a lot of volume with Purdy. So give me the over 3.5 receptions, and I think he could get in the end zone. So sprinkle a little anytime score for George Kittle. So what's your second one?
Dill, I think we're on the same page on this one, Dill. I ended up taking George Kittle over his receiving prop at 42.5. Yeah, same thing. Over at 42.5, Dill. Like you said, in recent weeks, George Kittle's honestly his favorite target. We've seen George Kittle have multiple touchdown games receiving. So you got to sprinkle on him anytime touchdown and 2 touchdown score. I think it's a solid chance he might go in there for 2 times. We've seen it 2 times in these last 4 or 5 weeks. Kittle go for multiple touchdowns. I think it's a small chance, but I'm gonna play it safe. Give me his over receiving yards at 42.5. Deal. I think he ends up with around 5 receptions, averaging 10 to 15 yards a clip. He's gonna go well over this deal.
Hey, we're on the same page. I think we're thinking a lot alike. You know, our plays are kind of correlated. You got the receiving yards, I got the receptions. So for George Kittle to score a touchdown plus 165, to score 2 plus touchdowns plus 1,000. So
he did it twice in these past 4 weeks. Still, I think give him a shot.
Yeah, 100%. So, hey, we're on the same side for the first game. I love it. Let's go to the second one where I think things will change a little bit. Let's go out to Jacksonville. Chargers on the road, taking on Jacksonville Jaguars. Chargers road favorites, -2.5, over under 47.5. Mike Williams is out for the Chargers, so tough blow there, but can they still get it done, E?
Still, to be honest, I like this team much better with Mike Williams just because you can't really double coverage anybody. You know, you got Austin Eckler as a threat, running and passing. Running and catching. You got a healthy Keenan Allen. I like Palmer. I like the tight end. And then Mike Williams just puts you over the top with that with the deep threat. You know, Mike Williams is a big guy, 6'5", about 240, 250. He's just he could just manhandle you and get the ball. He's like a fast ass tight end technically. So I think when you remove one of your best weapons offensively, it's gonna set you back a little bit. And who you think is gonna step up in his role, though? It's gonna be Palmer. It's gonna be somebody off the bench. It's gonna be Eckler doing a little more. So my thing is, though, Jacksonville has been impressive. They've been impressive these last few weeks. Snuck it out, won the division, had that shootout with the Cowboys, won that game. The Chargers, to me, what I've been saying all season long, though, they've been winning games, but it hasn't been impressive. You know, the only real blowout game I saw recently was against the Colts. But if you don't blow out the Colts, you shouldn't be in the playoffs anyway. So, no official play on the side, but I'm leaning Jacksonville money line at plus 120, people.
Yeah, give me the road team. I like the Chargers. I said it a few episodes ago. Even without Mike Williams, the line actually has moved in favor of the Chargers even after the injury news, which is surprising me a little. But regardless, I think the Chargers in this one, I like the matchup well. I think they match up well against the Jags. And we saw it a few weeks back. This is a team you might not want to see if they find their stride, they get healthy. And Jacksonville, their one strength, I would say, is their passing game. But the Chargers, second in DVOA in passing since their bye week. Jacksonville, bottom 5 defense in pass DVOA, and the Chargers love to pass the ball. So with the better QB, better weapons, even without Mike Williams, better defense, I think they're better in all 3 phases. So I got to take the Chargers. I got them on the money line a little earlier in the week at -115. I'll still lay the 2.5 with you. Anything on the total?
To be honest, I gotta lean the under just because, you know, 47.5 is just a little high to me, especially in the playoff game. I won't see the Chargers going up there and putting up 24 plus points. I see the Chargers maxing out possibly 20, 23, if that.
Mhm.
And I think Jacksonville could possibly sneak away with a victory at 24 points. I'm going to see this game at 24-20. That's
Yeah,
44.
love the under here. Dougie P and home unders have been so profitable. 34-17 in the regular season, including 6-2 this season. Outdoor wild card games featuring non-division matchups with a total of 41 points or more. 28-8 to the under. That's 78% the last decade. So 2 debut playoff QBs. Think they could struggle to find their rhythm in this one, especially early on. So I agree. I think the under 47 is the safe bet. But Elvis, before we get to our Sunday games, let me tell you guys about our sponsor, Viva Tequila Seltzer. Viva Tequila Seltzer is the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf or podcasting with your boys on a Saturday morning, it doesn't matter. Our flavors pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle but refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, let's get into it. Sunday, I think they're the better games.
Real quick, Dill, real quick. I didn't give my official play for the game. I just gave
my
my
bad.
lean. Yeah, my official play for the Chargers-Jacksonville game will be Austin Eckler over rushing and receiving prop at 93.5. Like I said, without Mike Williams, I just feel like you're going to need another person to step up. And I think Austin Eckler is going to be the one to step up. I think they're going to give him a few passes off from the backfield, Dill. I expect him to get anywhere from 3 to 8 targets, possibly in the passing game, Dill. And he's always liable to bust one out for you. So it wouldn't shock me if he could get a 30, 40-yard run here and then 50 receiving. End the game with 60, 70 rushing total, Dill. I always think Austin Eckler is a threat to break one for a touchdown anytime. So give me Austin Eckler over rushing and receiving 93.5.
All right. I kind of like it. I was looking at it. He had against LA at 161 combined. He's only hit this last 5 games. He's hit this in 2 of his last 5, but he's getting there. He's getting to 79, 80.
You got to understand that no Mike Williams, he's going to be more impactful. He's going to get more touches. All right? That's my thing. Without Mike Williams, he's going to get those touches.
I agree. Let's go. Let's go to Sunday games. We'll start with the 1 o'clock game, which I think it's good that they put it in the 1 o'clock. Get it in, get it out. Bills hosting Miami Dolphins. Bills laying 13.5. Over under 43.5. No Tua. Skylar Thompson will get the start for Miami. Oh, this is going to be a bad one. What do you got for this one, kid?
No official play, people, but lean the minus 13.5. Anytime interception, Skylar Thompson, do all those. Miami team total under. To me, it's a damn shame that the NFL is allowing Skylar Thompson to make a start in the playoffs. The fact that you couldn't just put the Steelers in. It would have been a more competitive game. Somebody else, Miami with a third-string quarterback is going to play arguably one of the best teams in the NFL. For what? For what? For what? Like, come on, NFL. You got to do a better job than this. I don't know why you're going to have Miami in there with a third string. There's no reason why no first round of the playoffs should be a 13-point spread. What kind of playoff game is this? This is a game in November. Minus 13.5 NFL on the first. I'm not even going to watch this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
No respect towards them.
No,
I hear you. I think it's gonna be a blowout. I'm laying the 13.5 with my Bills. I'm sorry, our fan. We got some Miami fans. Shout out our boy TJ.
No. I'm sorry that y'all got a third string. That's what I'm saying.
It's not their fault. Tua's broken.
It is their fault.
Tua's like a glass in a china cabinet. Every time you touch him, he breaks.
This is his 3rd concussion of the season. Why you don't go out there and sign or trade for a quarterback 8 weeks ago? You got to prepare for stuff like this. You was in first place in the division when Tua got hurt.
Yeah.
And you didn't prep for this?
I guess they thought maybe Teddy was gonna be healthy, but
Teddy hasn't been healthy since 2012 in Louisville. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna lay the 13.5 with Buffalo. Miami's offense is broken without Tua. No Teddy Two Gloves. The rookie's gonna be under a lot of pressure the whole game. Without Tua, this offense drops from third to 21st in offense DVOA. They're averaging just about 16 points a game. The Dolphins don't have the firepower to keep up with the Bills, especially on the road. Skyler's first playoff game. There's no reason the Bills shouldn't coast in this one. I smell a blowout. Another favorite for me. I'll lay the double digits with the Bills. I do have a player prop, though, for this game. Do you?
I have nothing, Dill. I'm
All
staying
right.
away from this game.
All right. Player prop for me. I'm going to go Josh Allen over 255.5 passing yards. In his 2 games versus the Dolphins, Josh Allen has 103 pass attempts for 704 yards and 2 touchdowns. He went over his pass attempts of 33.5 in both Miami games and in 5 of 6 playoff games. He also went over 255.5 passing yards by the same account. So I like this yards prop a little more than his attempts because I think the Bills pile on it early, and Allen attempts might be limited in garbage time. So I like the passing yards a little more than I like his attempts. So I'm going to go over 255.5 passing yards for Josh Allen. But
I do have one lean, Dill.
okay, let's hear it.
I will lean this. I was gonna take this officially, but I was like, you know what? I'm not just gonna touch it. But I will lean. If anything, added on parlay. Josh Allen under 50.5 rushing yards. To me, there's no need for him to rush in this game. You're 13-point favorite. You should cruise to a victory. Let's not put the quarterback in harm's way. Let's get him prepped for next week. I think he probably have a few rush attempts just to get a few first downs in the first half, though. But after they got a 10-point, 17-point lead, I don't see him attempting to rush it again. So I'm going to lean his under and expect a few kneel downs at the end of the game as well. So I'll lean his under rushing total, 50.5.
Yeah, and you usually see Josh Allen run and put the team on his back against good teams. Remember, we were discussing it before the preview, before the Bengals and Bills games, where Josh Allen kind of gets up for these big games. He kind of takes his foot off because he has too many weapons for a bad team. Not to say Miami, all right, we'll call a spade a spade. They're a bad team with Skyler.
Yeah, with Sky. With Tua, you saw them a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
29-29 in Buffalo, in the snow.
Yeah, they played actually really good in that game. So
I hit Miami plus 9.5, 10.5, whatever it was.
Oh, man. Let's go out to Minnesota. They will be hosting the New York Giants. Glad to see the Giants back in the playoffs. Minnesota laying 3, rematch of about a month ago. Came down to a last-second field goal. Minnesota won that game 27-24. Rematch, same spread, -3 for the Vikings at home, over under 48.5. Elvis, I'll let you start. How do you like this one?
Give me the Giants +3 on the road, Dill. We saw, like you said, we saw the same matchup about a month ago, and the Giants were down a couple starting offensive linemen, and they were down basically the whole wide receiving core, Dill. You saw it, I saw it, and they made that game competitive. They were in the game, shaky first half, but in the second half they got the ball rolling a little bit, Dill. And I think now, in this first week of the playoffs, the Giants are a healthier and better team than they are now than they were when they matched up a few weeks ago in Minnesota. And that game came down to a late game winning field goal by Craig Joseph. Thank you, by the way, because it won me my first round playoff game, Craig Joseph, with that 50-yarder. So shout out you. But Dill, I just feel like the Giants, it's like that rubber match still. They won the first one. Now you got your second chance. You already know the game plan. You already know what they're capable. You went out there limping with a hurt team. Now you're a little more healthier. You're well rested. Because remember, Dill, they took last week off. So everybody's well rested.
Yeah.
You're going to be healthy. Dill, I like the Giants team a little more than the Vikings team. I trust the defense way more than I trust the Vikings defense. Give me the Giants +3. And I'm sorry, people. Got to sprinkle something on the money line, people. Give me the G, man.
Yeah, I couldn't come down on a side in this one. I think it's going to be a dogfight of a game, just like the first one. Both teams play a lot of close games. And
one last thing, though. I apologize for cutting you off.
You're good, go.
What time is the game?
4:30, 4:15. Yeah, 4:30.
4:30. What that means? When the sun goes down, Kirk Cousins in the primetime game. What that tells you, Dill? Kirk Cousins, you gonna tell the people out there to put money on Kirk Cousins on primetime? I wish I would.
I don't know. I think it's a coin flip game, to be honest. I think these teams are very similar. I think offensively, Minnesota's much better.
Much better.
Defensively, they're both kind of bad, to be honest, in my opinion.
Giants got a bad defense?
Yeah, to be honest, they're 31st in. We'll go right into my player props then, because I have two for this game, and I'll start it with TJ Hawkinson over 4.5 receptions. This is my favorite play of the whole day. He had a monster first game versus the Giants, 13 catches for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Giants ranked 31st in DVOA versus tight ends. They can't guard tight ends to save their life. He's had 5 catches in 7 of 9 games in Minnesota. He's had 9+ targets in 6 straight games. He's easily Kirk's go-to if Jefferson isn't open. But I think the Giants are going to scheme a little more against Jefferson, leaving TJ to have some open looks. So over 4.5 receptions. And I'm also going to go Justin Jefferson over 92.5 receiving yards. Speaking of him, I like him. I don't think the Giants defense is good. They're one of the worst teams in guarding wide receiver number ones. Justin Jefferson in his first game against the Giants, 12 catches for 133 yards and a touchdown. Adoree Jackson being back might help a little, but I don't think he could guard Justin Jefferson at all.
Nobody can.
I think he's going to.
Sean Alexander from Packers.
And I think he's going to feed Justin Jefferson, especially with the season on the line, everything, all the criticism, especially like what you just said. He can't play in prime time. He hears all the noise. This is a huge game for Kirk Cousins and this team. So I expect the stars to show out. I expect Justin Jefferson to have a big game. So I'm going to go over 92.5 receiving yards. And to answer your question, I don't think the defense is that good for the Giants. And they're not good for the Vikings either, but they make big plays, and they make them when they need them, down in the red zone in the fourth quarter. They win a lot of close games, and it wouldn't surprise me if you told me the Giants won by a field goal or the Vikings won by a field goal.
I think it's a field goal game either side, unless somebody throws a pick six to end the game. Well,
so I do agree. I think the Giants are a good teaser option. I think getting them up to +9 is really good. I don't see Minnesota doesn't blow anybody out. So if you are leaning like Elvis to the Giants side, I would put him in a teaser. If you want to take him +3, that's on you. I think it is a good teaser option. But like you said, I don't know. I just don't trust the Giants defense. So that's why I got those 2 props. Any props for you in this game?
Dill, I got to lean Daniel Jones over 39.5 rushing yards. Dill. I think he's just a threat with his legs. And especially if you don't have a spy on him, he could bust one out for you. We saw him rush for 2-3 touchdowns in week 17. So I think he's always a threat. Remember his rookie year when he had like that 80-yarder and then he stumbled in Tampa against Jameis Winston and company. Yeah. So I think he's always a threat with his legs. Doing that 39.5, I think he could just get that in 1 or 2 attempts, honestly. So I gotta lean his over rushing just because I think he's gonna have a few lanes and I think he will take it,
especially indoors. Last time against him, he had 34 rushing yards. Last 5 games, he's gone over this number in 2 of 5. We'll see. It's a pretty big number, I think, 39.5. I even see some 40s out there, so shop around. But if you do want to get down on all of the player projections and player props, come have some fun over on Prize Picks with Elvis and myself. All first-time users that deposit and use promo code DREAMWAGER will receive 100% instant deposit match up to 100. You deposit 100, Prize Picks will give you 100. It's easy. Combine 2 to 5 players, and if they score more or less than their Prize Picks projection, can win up to 10 times your money. For example, you could put Daniel Jones more than rushing prop, combine it with Justin Jefferson more than receiving prop, combined it yesterday for Friday. It was like Flex Friday for Prize Picks. They were giving all users, if you hit a 6-legger, they're giving you 6 times your money. So they're going crazy over there. So Prize Picks, they don't just do football. They do NBA, NHL, golf, college sports, NASCAR, literally anything. So entries could be made up to 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Prize Picks safe offers fast withdrawals as well. So download Prize Picks today and play daily fantasy sports with us. Make sure you use promo code DREAMWAGER when you sign up. Elvis, let's get to the last game. Thought it was going to be a good one. Lamar is not playing. Before we get to the game, did you see what Lamar tweeted out to, I guess, his fans and his teammates. Did you see that?
Yeah, Dill. To be honest, Dill, what I thought about it is basically saying, without saying it, I'm hurt and I ain't coming back. That's what he basically said. I ain't coming back. There's no need for me to come back. I'll have a contract.
Did you hear? And then the next day, Sammy Watkins, I guess, talked to the Washington Post. He said a lot. I don't have it in front of me, but the Spark Note version, it was basically like, of course, we're a much better team with Lamar on the field, but we don't know his situation with the contract or with his injury. I see him walking around the facility. If he could play, man, we'd win this game. So it kind of seems like, and even John Harbaugh, they asked him every press conference.
He knows.
He's kind of tired of talking about it too. He's like, I don't know if he could play, he'll play. Like, I don't have the answers. So it's frustrating, and I could see it not just in Baltimore, the players and coaches. Even I have a bunch of Baltimore Raven fans from my time down in Maryland, and even they're tired of it. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but hey, Lamar, you need a contract. Woody Johnson got a lot of money. Come on over. Yeah. So let's go to the game. Baltimore Ravens 8.5-point underdogs on the road against Cincinnati. They split the series, but the first game was when they had Lamar back earlier in the year. Bengals beat them in week 18 last week. We just saw over under small 40.5. Elvis, how are you going to play this one?
Still, I gotta lean the Bengals -8.5. We've seen this Ravens team not be as good since Lamar has left. I think they're averaging less than 2 touchdowns a game. I think under 14 points a game since Lamar has left. Remember, when Lamar was the quarterback before the injury, this team was 8-4, first place in the division. Now you're 8.5-point dog against Cincinnati. So Lamar's the X factor, Dill. I don't get me wrong. Huntley, he's a solid backup. I don't want to take nothing off.
He's not even trending to play. They might have undrafted, and it's not Antonio Brown. It's Anthony Brown.
Oh, you're telling what?
Huntley might not even play. He's a game time decision.
All right, let's say Huntley. What I'm thinking is let's say Huntley is starting.
Okay.
I think the Ravens tap out at 14 points max. Maybe Justin Tucker can hit a 58-yarder. So let's give him 17, Dill. I think that's what they tap out, Dick. And I think this Bengals team is just gonna hit a different stride, like we saw last postseason, Dill. We saw them take care of business last week, and I think they're gonna take care of business this week as well, Dill. Like Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins, that defense finally came along. That offensive lineman doesn't seem like the issue. Remember, last year in the first round of the playoffs, Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times in Tennessee and walked out with a victory, Dill. So if I feel like if you could just protect them, I think they have no problem scoring points, Dill. So that's why my official play is Cincinnati Bengals more than 24.5 team total points, Dill. I just feel like they get anywhere 27 to 30. It wouldn't shock me to score more than 30, Dill. Because if you're telling me Anthony Brown's going to be the quarterback, I wouldn't be shocked if there's a couple turnovers in the game. If Huntley's the quarterback, that's going to limit turnovers. He's a seasoned, I want to say a seasoned vet, but he's a seasoned backup. He's seen it all, Dill. So I don't think he's going to go out there and turn the ball over a bunch. But with Brown, this total will go way over. But even with just Huntley, I still think Cincinnati will get anywhere from 27 to 30 points, win this game comfortably. So lean the 8.5. Fisher play over 24.5 points.
Yeah, tough game for me to break down, to be honest. No play on the side. I couldn't come to back the Bengals, to be honest. My loyalty for the Ravens.
But even with the news saying Lamar's not playing.
I know. That's why I just stayed away. And now that if Anthony Brown does play, I agree. I think it's an over game. But if Huntley isn't, with the amount of reps and time that he has with this offense, and even just in the league, he knows what to expect. I do like the under. Just because, tough division rematches typically stay close. And all 5 non-Lamar Raven games have gone under 40.5. Harbaugh, he's probably going to rely on his elite. They have a great defense. They have a great special teams. Grind it out. Hope to maybe catch a break here and there. Maybe Joe Burrow throws a pick. But John Harbaugh, 54-35 ATS as an underdog, including 8-4 in the playoff. He's 8-1 as an 8+ point dog. So I don't know. All the trends are telling me to take the Ravens, but it's hard to do it without a quarterback I trust. If you like the Ravens to cover, you got to think it's because you think the D is going to keep it close, which I kind of do. So maybe you want to tease the Ravens up, maybe again with the Giants up. But yeah, I'm going to stay away from the side and slightly, depending on the quarterback, to the under 40.5. No player ups for me in this one. How about you?
No, Joe, I ain't just staying away. If anything, depending on the Ravens quarterback, it all depends. I like Mark Andrews over.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm staying away.
All right, let's get to Monday Night Football. Dallas Cowboys on the road taking on Tampa Bay and the Buccaneers. Tampa home underdogs +2.5 at home, over under 45.5. Elvis, this is the game you've been wanting to talk about. The floor is yours. What do you got?
Still, all week I've been debating. I've been thinking. I've been saying to myself, the Cowboys are going to win this game, Dill. You know, what have we seen from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers besides 1 week in Carolina, well, against Carolina, that they could show you they could go out there and put up 30-plus points. They could go out there and throw multiple touchdowns. Tom Brady throws more than 300 yards.
A lot.
My thing is, I understand we just seen arguably the Cowboys' worst performance of the season in Washington against Howell. I understand that, Dill. I understand that. It was a pitiful game. Dak Prescott, I think, 14 for 37, pick 6. Ezekiel Elliott, 8 rush attempts for 10 yards. Running game couldn't get nothing going. Passing game looked horrendous. Defense makes Sam Howell look like a damn Pro Bowler. I understand that, Dill. But when all the chips are pushed to the table, I think this Cowboys offense could flourish. Their defense, a little lackluster lately. I admit that. Defense is not the same elite defense we saw in the first 10, 12 weeks of the season. I just got to go with history, Dill. What I've seen this season so far, Dill, I haven't seen Tampa put up consecutive games back-to-back or even, on a monthly occurrence that they're able to put up a ton of yards, a ton of points offensively. Defensively, I think they got a solid defense. It's just the Cowboys still. I've seen too many explosive games from them. We saw 10, 30-digit ball games, high 20 ball games from this Cowboys offense. Think they're just gonna shut it down at the end of the season in the playoffs? I don't think so, Dill. I'm a lean Cowboys -2.5, -3, whatever you catch it at. But my official play for the game will be CeeDee Lamb over his receiving prop still. I just feel like CeeDee Lamb is the number one target. I think he gets over 72.5 easy. I think when in down, he's just going to look for CeeDee Lamb. Who are you going to trust? Michael Gallup, Noah Brown, T.Y. Hilton? No, you're going to go with CeeDee Lamb. So I wouldn't shock me if CeeDee Lamb goes over 100 yards either. I think 72 yards is low. Give me CeeDee Lamb over.
Yeah, so before I get into my side, I got a side and 2 props. Going to give you some stats and trends for Bucks real quick. The public, obviously, all over the Bucks and Brady. Over 60% of the money and tickets are on the Bucks. Overall, 7 NFL postseason underdogs have attracted more than 63% of the tickets versus the spread. Those clubs 3-4 straight up, 4-3 against the number. Teams catching points in the playoffs, 114-94 against the number the past 20 years. And it's even better when the number comes down. The Buccaneers, they went from a +3 to +2.5. Money is coming in on them. The trend becomes stronger for those dogs. NFL playoff teams in this instant are blistering 43-18 against the spread over the past 20 years. So this will be Tom Brady's second playoff game as a home underdog. As he was a +3 in the Super Bowl. They beat the Chiefs 31-9. So Brady, we all know his career in the playoffs, 35-12 straight up, 25-21 against the number. And everyone talks about this as a night game. They make the joke he can't play at night, and the numbers kind of prove during the day 24-16 ATS, at night 2-13 ATS. but it gets even better against the Cowboys. Brady versus the Cowboys, 7-0
7-0.
straight up, 4-3 against the spread. His most wins without a loss against a single opponent. It's the first time he's an underdog versus Dallas. He's 3-0 straight up against Dak. He's also 6-0 against the Vikings, 4-0 against his own team, the Bucks, 1-0 against his former team, the Patriots. So I don't know. All the trends are telling me to point to the Bucks. Now on the Cowboys, they haven't won a road playoff game since January 17th, 1993.
93, yeah.
When was the last time they won a playoff game? They lost 8 straight playoff road games.
They're
They're
won
2-6 straight ATS.
They beat Russell Wilson and the Seahawks a few years ago.
Yeah, back when 3, maybe like 5,
Maybe 4,
6 years ago.
Maybe like 4. Yeah, like 4.
Dak, he's 0-4 straight of 0-4 ATS in the playoffs, 1-3 straight up. In the last 20 years, he joins Andy Dalton and Carson Palmer as one of only 3 quarterbacks 0-4 or worse ATS in the playoffs. He's thrown an interception in 7 straight games, 9 of his last 10 games. He's the first player in NFL history to lead or share an NFL category with interceptions despite missing 5+ games. That's a cash cow. Dak Prescott to throw in interceptions at -180 already. So
that's a lock. That's a lock.
That is, but I'm not paying that juice. Anyone who's been betting Prescott each game to throw interception would be up 9 units. So I don't know. Here's a weird trend I think maybe could help some people. Cowboys face the Buccaneers. Tampa's field is grass versus the Cowboys' usual turf. Cowboys 1-4 straight up and ATS this season on grass. Philly, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Tennessee, and Washington. And they could face the Eagles and 49ers on grass after Tampa as well. So they don't play well on grass. With all that being said, I am on the Bucks. I was able to grab a +3 early in the week at +2.5. Just take them straight up on the money line. I like that as well. There's one thing I've learned over the years betting on the NFL. One, you can't trust Mike McCarthy in the playoffs, and you should never bet against Tom Brady. I think we could both argue that the January collapse last week on the road against Washington is kind of the start for the Cowboys. A struggling Cowboys team that goes on the road and faces the most clutch QB in NFL history. I just don't think it's a good spot for them. The Cowboys defense really concerns me as well. They've struggled down the stretch, allowing 27.2 points per game over the final 5 weeks of the season. We've seen this defense struggle against Gardner Minshew, who put up 34 against them. Josh Dobbs of the Titans without Henry, they were competitive. And then last week, rookie Sam Howell carved this defense up for 2 touchdowns and over 200 yards. So I think the Bucs offense is starting to figure things out. They're starting to get healthier, especially on the offensive line. I think the Cowboys are going to be in a dogfight Monday. And being at home with a better QB and a defense, I think I trust a little more than Dallas's right now. I got to take the home puppy. Give me the points. Give me the straight up. I'm all over Tampa here. Any play on the side for you?
No, Dill. No,
on the total. Excuse me, on the total.
Yeah, on the total, no, Dill. If anything, I'll lean the under just because, like I said, I don't see Tampa's offense able to put up, more than 20, 21. I think they limit. The only way I see Tampa winning this game is this 2017 Tampa. If you have anybody score more than 20, it's not going to be the Tampa Buccaneers. I'm telling you right now, Phil. It's just an outlier. We saw it twice all season. More than 30 points. Hope you know that. So I feel like it's going to be a low-scoring game. Dallas 24-20.
Yeah, gonna lay off the total. I can see this game going under. With the Cowboys defense has looked past the way they looked this past month. Excuse me. The Bucs are finally starting to stride. I can see some points here. So few trends to take off. The Bucs team total unders 14-3 this season. They've been a cash cow. In the first half, the under is 13-4 in the Buccaneers 17 games this season. That's the best first half under winning percentage. So maybe the Buccaneers start slow. Maybe you want to take advantage of the first half under. But yeah, no official play on the total. Player props real quick. Anything for you on this game?
I'm gonna be honest though. I don't know if it's just a fanboy in me saying this, but I'm gonna be honest. I kind of lean playoff Lenny over 35 and a half.
It's not playoff Lenny. It's Lombardi Lenny now. You got Lombardi.
Lombardi Lenny, Dale. I just feel like 35, and I understand the Bucks in here has the worst running game of the worst running team of the year, arguably one of the worst running teams of all time. I think under 60 yards a game they had, Dale. So that's horrible. I know the Cowboys defense doesn't hold up against the run well. I just feel like 35 and a half yards is a little too short there. I think Lenny gets the majority of the carries. I understand they got Rashad White, but it's playoff time, Dill. Who are you going to trust? You're going to trust, like you said, Lombardi Lenny, or you're going to trust a rookie off the backfield, Dill? So I think they're going to try to establish somewhat of a running game on this Dallas defense. So I got to lean his over 35 and a half, Dill. I think
I
he gets
apologize.
at least...
I think you said CeeDee Lamb as well over receiving yards, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed that, but when you were saying it, I remembered it. But yeah, I'm on CeeDee Lamb as well. You got 72. I got 75. I like that as well. If the Cowboys want to win this game, they got to get the ball into their best receiver's hand. He had a quiet game in week 1 against the Bucks. He only had 29 receptions, but he did have 11 targets. I don't expect him to have another bad game like week 1. We could both agree these teams and players are much different than they were in week 1. This season, Lamb has gone over this number in 9 of 17 games, including going over in 3 of his last 5 games. Bucks have a good run defense, not the best secondary. So I think CeeDee could have a big game. If they want to win this game, I think he is going to have a huge game. So over his receiving yards, both of us on CeeDee Lamb. One that I really like, I want to save it for best bets real quick, but since we're here, but let's go through your best bet. Out of all the games we talked about for Super Wild Card Weekend, what's your most confident play you want to give out our audience?
My most confident play will be Christian McCaffrey over 74 rushing yards, Dale. Like I said, Kyle Shanahan has showed us in these recent playoff seasons, Jimmy G only was getting about 15 or fewer pass attempts a game. He just relied on the running game, Dale. And I think we're going to see that once again, Dale. He's going to limit him. I think Christian McCaffrey gets, I'm going to say the running game gets 35 to 40 attempts, right? Mm-hmm. I say Christian McCaffrey gets 25 because I do think Elijah Mitchell is going to at least get 10 carries. So let's say 25 carries, average around 4 yards a clip, Dale. What that gives you, over 100.
Over 100. I like that play as well. I'm on Christian McCaffrey as well. I told you I really like the TJ Hawkinson one, but I'll stay in this Monday night game. I'm going to go over Tom Brady's passing yards prop. Real quick stat, if you're looking towards his passing touchdown prop, in Brady's last 19 starts for the Bucks, under 1.5 in 12 of 19 games, under 2.5 in 16 of 19 games. So I'm going to go with his passing yard prop over 275.5. I feel like most people would go under this spot since the Cowboys defense only allows 200 passing yards per game during the regular season. But like I said, they've struggled. The last 3 games are allowing 245 yard passing yards per game against Sam Howell, Josh Hobbs, Gardner Minshew. I think we could both agree the GOAT is much better than all those 3 guys put together. So Brady and the Bucks at home, they averaged 322 yards passing yards per game this season. I just think this is a bad spot for the Cowboys, but a great spot for the GOAT. He's gone over this number in 9 of 17 games this season and 6 of his last 10 games. But at home, it's gone even better. He's gone over this number in 8 of 10 home games. So Brady's great at home. They love to throw the ball a lot at home. I think he's going to be able to throw all over this Cowboy defense. So my favorite play, my best bet is probably going to be Tom Brady over 275.5 passing yards. You like that?
I don't love it, but I do like it. I don't love it, though, to be honest, just because, I do feel you, especially if they're down, he will throw for a lot of yards. But if it's a nip and tuck game, I don't see a lot of yards building up on the board. But
I just don't think that's good.
I just feel like the only way he gets to that over prop if Cowboys are winning by double digits.
Yeah. So how you feel like the game's going to be scripted? Elvis could think it's going to come down a certain way, and I think the game's going to come down totally different. So how you script it, and I think that's how we get our player props. But Elvis, good luck. Should be a fun, interesting weekend of NFL. I can't wait to, in a little while, just sit down and relax. Got 3 games tomorrow, and then the standalone on
Showdown.
Monday night. So should be a good one. Elvis, good luck on the gridiron. Let's transition into the hardwood. Got 7 NBA games tonight. Let's start with the 1 o'clock game. The first game, Miami Heat hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. Miami actually laying 4 at home, over under at 213.5. You have any play in this one, E?
Give me the Bucks on the road plus 4.5. Still, I don't understand why Miami is minus 4.5. I understand the Bucks are kind of riddled with injuries, but I still think they're a slightly better team. Still, we saw this Miami team go to the Lakers and lose without LeBron. Dennis Schroeder gave them 32. So I just don't trust this Miami team. So it wouldn't shock me if they go out there and win the game, but I expect the Bucks to keep it close. Give me the Bucks plus 4.5 on the road.
Yeah, Giannis is questionable. Chris Middleton is still out, and Miami just beat the Bucks by 6 the other night. So little rematch here. So I understand the line, but yeah, you're right. Bucks riddled with injuries right now. They're struggling, but yeah, no play for me in this one. Indiana hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies laying 8.5 on the road, over under high 239.5. How you gonna play this one?
Still, that's a high total. I ended up teasing Memphis down, Dill. So I ended up having a two-way teaser. I have Memphis tease them down from 8.5 to 2.5 with the Boston Celtics. They're both at 8.5, Dill. I expect the Celtics to take care of business on the road, and I expect Memphis to take care of business on the road. We playing it safe, people. We want some money on this Saturday, so we can load up for tomorrow. Give me two-way 6-point teasers. Memphis down to 2.5. Celtics down to 2.5.
Yeah, I would even lay the 8.5. Even though I do like the Pacers, I think they're a fun team. Memphis is just a different breed.
They're catching their slide now. They're gliding now. They look like the team that we saw last season.
5 in a row they've won. They've played the Pacers twice this year, and they've beat them by over 20 in each time. Just might be a bad spot for the Pacers. So I agree. I would lay the points with the Grizzlies. Charlotte Hornets hosting the Boston Celtics. Celtics laying 8.5 as well, over under 232. Any play in this one?
Yeah, I ended up teasing the Celtics down to minus 2.5 with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Jaylen Brown is out. Gordon Hayward out. I feel like he's always out.
He has like a fractured fibula on his shoulder or something like that. I think he's done for the year, dude. I think
God.
Yeah.
Boston 5 in a row. They're looking good right now. You still your number 1 seed, huh?
Yeah, I gotta respect it, Dill. They're one of the best defensive teams. Jason Tatum's having an MVP caliber season. Like I said, when they signed him or traded for him in the offseason, I think Malcolm Brogdon was the best addition in the offseason. We're seeing it. He's coming off the bench and just lighting them up with assists, points, doing whatever he needs to do. So, like I said, when Jaylen Brown gets back, I don't have too many teams ahead of them. Only the Nets with a healthy Kevin Durant.
Yeah, speaking of Malcolm Brogdon, he is questionable game time decision. One prop I like, LaMelo Ball. Over 3.5 3-pointers. He's hit this mark in 79% of the games this season. So I think he's just going to be chucking points out just because Boston, I think, is going to be leading for most of the game. So, yeah, I like LaMelo Ball over 3.5 3-pointers. Let's go to the next game. We got Toronto Raptors hosting the Atlanta Hawks. Raptors minus 6.5 at home, over under 232. How do you see this one coming down?
Yeah, I got to lean plus 6.5 with Atlanta. If anything, tease them up, people. Tease them up to, plus 12.5. I just feel like Atlanta, they could walk out of there with a victory. But if you want to play it safe, tease them up. If not, I'll lean the plus 6.5 though.
Yeah, Toronto, both teams disappointing seasons so far, I feel like, for both teams.
I feel like they're going to trade Young come trade deadline.
I agree. I don't know what it is, but him and Nate McMillan just don't get along for whatever reason. But
I think Nate McMillan is a good coach. Remember,
too.
He brought that team. They were what? I think 13th place, and then he brought them to the Eastern Conference Championship. So
and they're also talking. There's rumors John Collins might be on the trade block as well. So
rightfully so, though. They overpaid that man by about $40-50 million
for one good playoff run. But you're right.
Which it was a good playoff run.
It was. I agree. He deserved it, but not that much money.
No.
But yeah, let's go to the next game. Cleveland Cavaliers on the road taking on the Timberwolves. Cavs laying 5 on the road over under 224.5. Any play in this one for you?
I gotta lean Cleveland -5, Dill. It's always tough for me to lay more than a couple points on the road.
Yeah.
So that's why I would lean it. If anything, tease them with Atlanta. So you get Atlanta plus to 12.5, and then you get Cleveland down to a +1. I think Cleveland walks out with a victory, Dill. I think they're the better team, but to lay 5 on the road is always tough.
Very tough. Another team that's tough to back, Utah Jazz hosting the 76ers, but the Jazz are underdogs, so maybe a good time to back them. 76ers laying 5 on the road, over under 235. Are we backing the Jazz as dogs?
No, Dill, this is why. Give me the 76ers -5.5, and I'm be honest, sprinkle something on the 76ers to win by 11 plus points, Dill. The other night, 76ers got embarrassed on their home court against the Oklahoma City Thunder by 20, 30 points.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they're going to come out and show that they're still one of the better teams in the league. Because what we saw the other night was flat out embarrassing, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And we expect more, especially when James Harden and Embiid are on the floor at the same time. There's no reason you should lose 30 points to OKC. But give credit to OKC. They've been putting up a ton of points, sneaking past a few opponents. But I think Philly, they got that sour taste in their mouth, and unfortunately, they're going to take it out on our Utah Jazz still. So give me Philly -5.5 and sprinkle something on a win by double digits.
Love it. Last play of the day, Portland Trailblazers hosting the Dallas Mavericks. Portland -1.5 at home, over under 226. The reason I had that tone of voice is because I don't understand this line. Dallas, much better team. Portland, they started hot, kind of faded a little towards. They've lost 5 straight up and against the spread. While Dallas, they're 3-2 in their last 5. So don't understand this number. I'm looking at the injury report. Christian Wood is questionable, and Damian Lillard is questionable. So don't really know how to make of this game. What any thoughts or any plays for this one?
Dude, I gotta go with Dallas on the road on the money line at +105. Dude, I just think they're the better team. I don't understand why Portland is favorite. I guess because everybody's back. You got Gary Payton, you got Damian Leonard, you got Simons, you got Simons, and you got Jeremy Grant all playing tonight. Questionable Damian Leonard, but if Damian Leonard plays, this one of the very few times all their players are on the floor at the same time. So I understand that aspect. Maybe Gary Payton could probably cause a little havoc against Luka Doncic. We'll see, but still, I gotta go with Dallas at +110 now. Give me Dallas +110 on the road.
Love it. Elvis, good luck. I know we probably won't be watching too much basketball today, but regardless, good luck on your bets. 156 college games tonight on a Saturday. You gotta love it. I got 12 games for you. We'll start 12 o'clock. Get it started. West Virginia +4.5 against Oklahoma. Give me Bowling Green -2.5 against Western Michigan. Give me West Carolina -1.5 against the Citadel. I'm going to go under 148.5 and with Kansas State and TCU. Going to give another under 145.5 with Tulane and Central Florida. Give me the Richmond Spiders -1 against St. Bonnie. Fordham +1.5 against LaSalle. Shout out the Bronx. Give me Missouri +6.5 against the Gators. UAB -3.5 against Louisiana Tech. LSU, go Tigers, +15.5 against Alabama. That is scary. I will say that, FYI. Chattanooga +2.5 against Samford. The Cowboys, Oklahoma State +6.5 against Baylor. Wake Forest -2.5 against Boston College. Everyone, good luck on all your plays, whether it's basketball, whether it's golf going on. What else? What other sports? We got soccer going on now. NHL still going on. Whatever you're betting on this
fight night tonight.
UFC fight night. First one back. Let's fucking go. I'll have that on a TV as well. Thank you. I don't know how I almost forgot about that real quick. But yeah, we got everything going on. It's the best time of the year. Elvis, any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Good luck, people. Enjoy, playoff football. Hopefully our plays, we gave out some bangers, people. And let's just enjoy playoff football because we only got a few weeks left. We got a solid month and a week left of just NFL football, people. So
what are we gonna do?
Make sure you tell the wife, tell whoever, yo, I need a couple hours today and tomorrow because we don't got many left. Sooner Valentine's hits, I'm all yours. But from now to Valentine's Day, shorty, calm down. That's what you gotta say.
Just for a few hours. Like, I'm not even asking for the whole day. Like,
I'm just asking for 4 to 10. That's all. A work shift. A work shift.
Elvis not even watching the 1 o'clock game. He's not watching. It's
going
to be a blowout.
We could go for brunch, and then from 4 to 11,
I'm going to be by the TV. Just let you know.
We go to brunch. Fellas, take your ladies to brunch for Bills Miami game.
Sunday brunch.
You could watch the game, but you know.
Oh my God, Elvis, you're the best. Good luck on your plays this week. Good luck, everyone. And that's going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Prize Picks, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. We'll recap the games. We'll look ahead towards the divisional round. So everyone, please follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, please subscribe, rate, give us a review. All that good stuff really helps the show grow. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.